Hello and welcome to the Little Minds Big Ideas podcast, the podcast where we are talking all things early years from inside and outside our wonderful industry. Today I am joined by Sam Burnham, who is a dance teacher and has been a dance teacher for the past 35 years. First of all, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast.
Very welcome, my lovely.
This is a very special one for me because Sam was actually my dance teacher for 7 years at theatre school. So I think it's probably been over 10 years now since I've seen Sam.
Absolutely.
So this is such a lovely one for me, really nostalgic. So it's talking all things a little bit out of my early years, but there were still children at the theatre school in their early years. So, but yeah, this is a really special one for me. So thank you so much for coming and joining me. To start with, I guess it's just, where did dance and theatre all start for you? How did you the wonderful industry?
Okay, so I was probably about 4, and my mum sent me and my sister to the local dancing school, of which I sort of went, oh, do I want to do it? Don't I want to do it? And then one week she said, right, you either do it or you don't. And that was it. And then that was it. I danced. I've never stopped since. So I did that from the age of 4, doing the usual local dance shows, etc. And then got to a point when I thought, actually, this is all I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't at all academic at school, completely creative, lots of drawings, I'm completely creative. Live my life like a fairy, literally. Lived in a cuckoo land, dream world. And all at school, literally, I lived in Birmingham and went to a school that wasn't particularly good in the 70s. And didn't really give us an awful lot. Told me that, actually a teacher said to me, to my friend, because I was quite shy, believe it or not.
Never.
I was really, really shy. And a teacher said to me, what do you want to do with your life? I said, I'm going to dance. And he said, don't be ridiculous. So I was like, okay. So for me, that's all I've ever wanted to do.
Just wanted to
yeah, that's it.
Do you think that starting from so young built that sort of love of?
I think starting young, if I'm honest, created some of my best friends that I still have.
Yeah.
So I've got still one of my closest, bestest friends. We met when we were about 6.
Wow.
And she's still in the industry and I'm still in the industry. But the love we had, we used to put on those dance shows at home to our poor parents and did all the usual things that kids do. But we had like a little group of friends. And to me, that was like my little tribe from being a kid. So going to dancing I used to end up going about twice a week and then all day Saturday was like my sanity.
Yeah.
So it was like I'm with the people I want to be with and all I have to do is dance. I don't have to speak. I think that's what I loved. I didn't have to speak at that point.
Dancing does the speaking, doesn't it?
Exactly,
tells the story.
Exactly. So yeah, it was lovely.
Do you think that having, obviously, like you said, the strong friendships and have been around like-minded people drove you to keep dancing?
No, I think if I'm honest, I just wanted to dance. That was just my passion. And I didn't have anything else in my head. I remember going to London with my parents when I was probably about early 70s. Loads of hippies in London. And it was I just looked around and I was probably I was very young myself, thinking this is where I want to be.
These are my people.
So it was almost like this is just, this is my, and I remember thinking this is where I want to live. So the friends were great, but I left a lot of them because I went down to London and did what I wanted to do. So although saying that, all those friends are still there. So you kind of hold on to the goodies.
You do.
So
when you kind of look back at your career then, with that, when you first started moving to London and doing these things, where did it go? Where did dance take you?
If I'm honest, when I first went down to London, I had to have some counselling because I was so shy. And
that blows my mind, that does, because obviously knowing you as a teacher, it's like, wow.
Seriously, I was so shy. I'd never been on a tube in my life. It was literally just thrown in the deep end. And I was 16, so I was very young. Went to college and just was like, I'm in my element. Used to do ballet class every morning and, just dance all day. That's all I used to do, dance all day. And I sort of had a vision of, okay, I want to be centre front. And just work myself way to the centre front. That was like my vision. And then, my 3 years at college from 16 to 19 were probably the best. And everyone that I went to college with say exactly the same. We had the best time. I suppose it's like uni, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we didn't have any money, so we didn't get drunk. That's an difference. We had no money. I remember my duvet was a sleeping bag.
Wow.
So there was, and having ice, there was no luxury at all. So I think actually that was quite good for me because I roughed it like mad.
But doing something you loved at the same time.
Exactly. So yeah, that was good.
So moving on from college and things like that,
Yeah.
what do you think has been a career highlight for you?
Probably doing, my dream job was doing Cats in London. So that was probably my highlight. I remember usheretting, doing a job, and there's a part called Demeter in Cats in London, and I thought I wanted to play that part. So I was very lucky that I did play that part.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did the West End, I did Starlight Express and Cats and South Pacific. But Cats is my highlight, I think.
How long were you
in Cats?
Yeah.
I did the original tour and then went in for a year, then went into Cats for 2 years, then came out, had a baby, did another show, and then went back into Cats for another 2 years. So 5 years. Yeah.
What do you think was the defining moments of that show? What kind of was like made it so special?
I think everybody that's ever done Cats will say the ball, the Jellicle ball, because it's a killer. And I just think as a dancer, you might know that.
Yes.
I might make you do that. As a dancer, you actually want to sweat and you want to feel like you've worked. I don't think when it's easy, it's kind of what's the point? Yeah. So I think as a dancer, that's like the pinnacle. And I think anyone that's done Cats still knows the Jellicle ball of 12 minutes of pure dance and then just dying in the interval of and being soaking wet. It's a killer. It's an absolute killer every day. But I loved every minute of it. So yeah, was very lucky, I think.
Do you feel like you had a good cast?
I think our very first cast, the original national tour, really British tour, was one of the best casts because it was sort of really handpicked, and we got to work with Gillian Lynn and Trevor Nunn. So we were kind of really spoilt with lots of rehearsals and a brand new set and everything. We were really spoilt, but everyone was very typecast. I played a part. I played with my first husband. We were the twins, Coricat and Tantamal, and I was like the witch's cat, which I think is quite apt for me. So yeah, it was brilliant. I loved it. Loved every minute of it.
Do you think that? I mean, every time I've seen Cats a couple of times, and we went a few years ago when it was touring in Northampton.
Yeah.
And there's just something so special about that musical. I don't know what it is. And I mean, what's the bad cat?
Tugger? No. Isabella. Oh, McCavity.
Yeah. And he pops up around the audience.
Yeah.
And still to this day, I petrified of that. And I just think, he's going to get me. And I know, being in doing theatre, it's more than one of them.
Yeah.
Because the fighter, he's not running. And it's a character, and it's somebody playing it. And I remember last time I was sat next to my sister and I was squeezing her hand. I was like, oh God, he's going. And even as an adult, it's just so, it still gets, but that musical is one of my favourites. And every time I even if it's on the telly, the film version's on, or we go and watch it, I always think of you because I remember being in theatre school, and I remember one lesson where you bought your costume.
That's right, yeah.
And somebody got to wear the costume, somebody had their hair done, and I just remember that, and that for me was it was incredible. It was like somebody I know has played a character on, in the West End of a show that I love. So it definitely is things, and I can imagine being part of it was just...
Yeah, it was.
Really,
it was
really special.
We had a good time. Yeah, we had a crazy time. We had a good time. Yeah, definitely.
What do you think after Cats then? How did you transition into that teaching?
Okay, so to be fair, I was kind of at college. I started teaching quite early because my teachers would say, once I'd left, could you come and cover a mathematics jazz class? And I'd go, yeah, absolutely. And you got paid then, obviously. So you obviously need money. So you get paid. And then obviously once you're in the West End, I was too busy. So that's when the teaching started. Teaching with children, never ever wanted to do. It was like my worst. It was like
Don't blame you. We were probably a nightmare.
No, but it was, honestly. It was like, I'll never do that. Then me and my ex-husband moved to Northampton. We did do a little bit of that on the map. And literally didn't know anybody here.
No.
And then I thought, okay, I've got to do something. I just had my second baby. And I thought, I've got to do something. So I thought, I'll offer at my eldest son's school to just do a free class for children. And then the head sort of said, would you like to cover PPA? And I was like, okay.
Oh, I don't know.
And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And then obviously getting paid for it as well. So that's how it started. And then I think my ideology of teaching children, I hadn't quite worked out at that time. I was still teaching at college in my head.
Yeah.
Realising that a whole thing is completely different.
Very different.
So you got to read the room as they walk in. You got to spot every child, etc. And I can honestly say, I think I'm the happiest now that I've ever been, because I love kids.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't. I have from little ones, 4-year-olds, who the excitement of seeing you and going, Sam, and giving you a big hug, to watching them do stuff and then going, that was brilliant. And they're buzzing.
Yeah.
To my older ones who are 18, 19, same thing.
Yeah.
It's a different, you've got to completely teach at different levels, or you've got to change your teacher way you teach all the time. But I love it.
I guess that kind of links to when I was at theatre school, there was 3 different groups, and you teach the different ages one after the other. So it's that quick
turn.
I'm like, okay, so I've just had the older ones, and now I'm back with the little ones.
Your mindset's just got to change all the time. Absolutely. But I love it. I have to say, I am very lucky, very privileged to be doing what I do, I think.
And I totally get that. I think as soon as I went into childcare, and it is those moments that click, and it's like the wow moment. You think, they've got it.
Yeah.
And I totally get that, because for me, my age, I like preschool and 2s, like they're my age groups.
Yeah.
And when you say they're so excited to see you when you walk in, it's such a special, working with children is just so incredible.
It is. I'm waiting to be a grandma at some point, and then I'm just, God knows what I'm going to be like. I'll be dragged into the woods and we'll be looking at the fairies and all.
Exactly. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Do you think that teaching has given you a different view on dance and theatre?
Yeah. I think I'm sad that they don't do it enough in schools. Really sad, because the confidence. This year we've just done a Midsummer Night's Dream open air with about 6 or 7 schools, 30 children in each of year 6, and put the story together. But the excitement and some of the children were tricky, but you see them before they go on and going, Sam, am I going to be okay? I think you're going to be brilliant. And they just buzzing. So I'm thinking, from that, they're getting so much out of something. And it's not just, a little dance. They're telling a story of Midsummer Night, so they're doing a bit of Shakespeare as well. But I just think it's the magic that they get of that buzz and the confidence they get of going on stage, whether it be acting, singing, dancing, whatever it be. I just think the confidence that they're going to get from that in the future is immense.
Definitely.
But they want to cut that out, which is really
we were saying before, I'm so glad, and my mum has always said she's so glad that we went to theatre school, because even though it's not something me or my sister sort of carried on with, even though I always think, I should have carried on, but it's something that has bonded us really amazingly, and the confidence, like you said, it brings. You build friendships. Absolutely. It's just incredible. Even the way you learn to speak.
Exactly.
It just teaches you so many things you don't.
It's everything. I mean, I sort of say sometimes to children, when you walk in a room, don't walk. No. I'm like, because
shoulders back,
head up, because you'll feel proud of yourself, and people will look at you and go, "Who's that?" Rather than apologising. And there's so much. I work with a lot of teenagers as well, and they've gone through so much with COVID. And there's always something going on. And I also work in the Eastern District, so we have a lot of underprivileged children. But they're amazing. These are the children that get missed. This is what I'm quite passionate about, the children that get missed. Not the children with lots of money, but the children that get missed.
Yeah.
It's just...
It's knowing you're making a difference, isn't it?
Knowing that,
teaching those skills.
We've got children that were on doing the Tempest at the Royal Shakespeare this week with the company. So I'm like, they're doing that already. So they can stand and make a speech, which means if they're going to, whatever they do in life, they can stand up and make a speech, whether it be in a meeting or whatever. Yeah. They're never going to feel afraid because they've done it so many times.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether they go into the industry or not.
No.
The fact is they've got confidence.
Yes, so no, definitely.
That's massive.
It's so, I think when people say, you do theatre, when you go to theatre, whatever it is, go to theatre school. But like you said, there's so much more
oh my God, yeah.
to it.
Yeah, because I think people just think, jazz hands and a bit of
Yes.
and pretty costumes.
Yeah.
But I just think that, like you say, there is so much more. And I'm quite strict.
She is. She's a very strict teacher.
But in a
Positive
good way.
way.
Do you know what I mean? Not I would never say anything negative as far as about anybody. 'Cause you just don't do that. But I just think there's a way of getting things out of people, and it's not being horrible. There's just a way of doing it, and it's just probably being, it's being strict sometimes.
Yeah.
But not horrible.
No, my sister, who is also Sam, so it gets confusing, but she was very shy.
Yes.
And I think even bringing that confidence out of her, she was doing shows by the end of when we were at theatre school. And even for me, I remember doing dance and thinking, if I can't do it, it was never that it was a negative, but it was, okay, let's try it a different way. What are we doing?
Exactly.
What can we tweak? And it was never like you would, like you say, it's never negative, but it's a, come on.
Yeah, you can.
We can do this.
Children, as soon as you throw negativity at them, they're gonna shrink.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's the last thing you ever want to do with children. You've got to
Yeah.
them positive, and it doesn't matter if they make a mistake. I always say it's not real life.
No.
It doesn't really matter. If you make a mistake, no one's going to die.
No.
So it is literally, just enjoy it as much as you can, and then the confidence comes anyway.
Yeah.
I think.
And it's not if you make a mistake, it's how well you recover from it.
Exactly.
And that's something that sticks with you even on, like later on, even in my work, I think. It's not the mistake I make, it's how I recover from it and how we get past it. Because on the stage, you make a mistake, show still goes on.
Exactly.
Like you've just got to spin it out.
And I think the thing is, it happens in the West End all the time. So, that's professionals.
Yeah.
So it's just normal. And it's life.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes. And if we didn't, we would never learn, as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you have to make mistakes to learn.
Mm-hmm. What would you say is your favourite style of dance to teach children?
Contemporary, jazz contemporary. Yeah. Massive. Dark. I'm quite a dark. All my kids go, Sam, can we do a dark piece now? I'm not very good at, I just hate cheesy stuff. So I like a story.
Yeah.
I like dark stuff. I like to sort of pull out things and I like them to understand what the dance is about. So I don't really like doing, even the little ones. I did a piece the other week, and all they were doing was they were just little character dolls. They were only little tiny ones. But they were all so focused. And then they started telling the story. I was going, you tell me, what do you think happens next? And they start, and you're going, so this is also, I'm quite in, I think it should be good that it comes from them as well.
Yeah.
So otherwise, I don't want to take control over everything. And how they've got to learn. And now I've got young people going, can I choreograph something now, Sam? I'm like, yes.
Go for it.
Then you look at them and go, oh my God, they couldn't do anything a few years ago. So to me, I just think, I'm so proud.
Yeah.
I just get so proud and a bit emotional, but I do get so proud of them. But when it's the little diddly, I call them the little diddlies. When it's them, I just think they just, even if it's not that brilliant, I'm like, do you know what? You've gone home and done that.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
They've gotten...
How are you going to start?
Yeah.
You encourage it, and then they've got a bug for it, and then it goes from there, I guess.
You said you hate your cheesy stuff. You're probably going to hate the fact that one of the dances that I remember learning was to McFly Saturday Night.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember we were having a party, and because I love McFly, and when you said we were dancing to McFly, I just remember inside I was like, yes, the best thing I'm doing it. And every time I hear that song, it takes me back to being in the hall dancing to that song. And you probably one of the ones you hated because it was so cheesy. It was like,
I do realise I have to adhere sometimes to the children.
Everybody, yeah, what we all want to do.
Exactly.
I think for me, it's like you said, like storytelling. Now in my job, when I read a book, the characters have voices. Yeah. I know when to do the pauses to build suspense for the 3-year-olds listening to the Gruffalo.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter what the book is. And I definitely feel like I've learnt those skills at theatre school.
And it's even that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you can watch people tell a story and I'm thinking, or make a story up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, just make it up.
Yeah.
Kids will just sit there with open eyes going, oh my gosh, amazing. If it's a load of rubbish. But I just think, I just always look at little ones and I just think we're like these big monsters looking at them. Why would anyone ever? Do you know what I mean? I just think,
why would you be that?
It upsets me so much. I just think, you want to have this warm kind of come here and it's all lovely. But I do have a passion for little ones. I do love little ones.
Yeah. It's because they're still taking everything in.
Yeah, they're little sponges at the end of the day. And
They want to learn so much
as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just see their little faces and they're like, is that good? Is that good? Did I do it? Baby.
You did it.
You did it, yeah.
It's so incredible that, like you said, they still want to please, even so young, and then they're so proud of, because you're proud of them as well.
And then parents come in and, I mean, that's the people they want to please, isn't it?
Yes.
And then parents are like smiling at them. It's like gold, isn't it? You can't buy that. But I just think, you know, you gotta also you've got to have a lot of patience with a saint, obviously. But you've also just give, and I just think you get so much more than going into, you know, some people I see teach even in schools. I'm like, do you even like children? You know what I mean? I just think, oh, okay.
I say that to my staff, like, what you do makes a difference every single day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're not just playing. You're not just like, we've done so many episodes talking about play and the importance and the brain development and everything. But I just say, like, what you're doing makes a difference to these children. Like, you don't understand the impact you're going to have later on when, like you say, they've built friendships, they can communicate effectively, they're independent. Like, it's all skills that they're learning now.
Absolutely.
And if you're not fully in it, why are you doing it? Like,
and I think children will suss you out anyway.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, they're not. The thing is, I think people go, "Oh, so it's okay, they're only children." I'm like,
no,
you have no idea.
They've worked you out before,
working you out, and they'll work out whether you like them or not. So I just think, you know, then they'll know.
That's why they warm to people, isn't it? And that's why when children are in your class, it brings the best out of them, because I don't think, I mean, I talk from experience, but I don't think I ever felt singled out in a dance class. There's never a point where if anybody felt they couldn't do it, they were with you. They weren't at the back. Like, it was never like that.
Like you say, you always read a room and you can see someone that's finding it uncomfortable. So you just literally, you can work it to make them feel comfortable, and it's not hard.
No.
But you've got to care, I think. That's
definitely with children. So you've obviously worked with a lot of children over the last 5 years.
Yes, I think I have.
You've met lots of children.
I have.
Do you think that you've had a positive impact on the children you teach?
I hope so. What's really nice is when I'm out sometimes and they'll go, "Sam," but I have no idea who you are. They used to teach me. I'm so sorry. Because obviously everyone, even meeting you today, I mean, I'm thinking, I don't recognise them, but they come up and they go, "I remember doing this with you, or I'm doing that with you." I'm like, "Oh," and I'm like, "What did we do?" I have no idea, which is brilliant. And I've got, you know, I'm still very close to quite a lot of people I taught.
Yeah.
And we all now, obviously they're sort of in their 30s and we can go for a drink now and have a, you know, they maybe family as well. Do you know what I mean? But they go, "Oh, I remember doing that dance. I remember doing that dance. I remember doing that thing," or whatever. So for me, I just think you become, you're the teacher, but you're also sort of a bit of a friend as well.
Yeah.
Especially when they get older. I mean, as a friend, there's a line, isn't there?
There is, yeah, of course.
And then obviously there's certain people that I'm really close to still.
Yeah.
That I've known for years and I've taught them as well. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't seen you for probably 10 years, just over 10 years now. So, but I've always had you on Facebook. So it's always like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's keeping in touch with people, but even though you don't.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of know what everyone's doing. Because everyone's on Facebook and kind of, you can say, "Oh God, they're having a baby now," or "This is happening now, this is happening now." And for me, I'm like, "Oh, how lovely." You know, it's just, world moves on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like time.
I mean, even for me on a personal level, going to theatre school for 7 years made a big difference.
Yeah.
Like, I just loved it. And like I say, even now it bonds us as a family, because my mum and my sister will go to the theatre. Yeah. Like, even for for Christmas, I got my sister tickets to see The Lion King, because she'd never seen it. Yeah. So we made it a double theatre day and we did Disney. So we did Frozen and The Lion King. Yeah. And it's just something we've always now bonded over.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't think if we hadn't have gone to theatre school and learned half the songs that we still know all the words to.
Yeah, it's nostalgia, isn't it, as well? You sort of you're back in that moment again together.
I mean, Les Mis, I think Sam did that in her group, and I don't think I'll ever forget any of the words because I didn't even do it because but it's it's just something that sticks with you, like you said, regardless if you go into the industry.
Absolutely. It's true because I mean, my first dancing teacher, Leslie Cassell, who's on Facebook, and she's about brilliant, and I just loved her. But when I did sort of Dancing Queen, that was like, and my first piece of choreography was Kate Bush's Wuthering Heights. So, you know, I listen to that song and I'm still there. I'm in that moment, same as you. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, you sort of look back at my teachers and I think, oh, I love those.
Yeah, definitely. So from your years of teaching, you've probably, from the many of us that didn't go into the industry, you've probably had some that did make it in the industry.
Yeah.
What kind of moments for you have gone, oh my God, yeah, it impacted on that career?
Things I think when they go to college and and seeing their first show at college, because I think it's hard because it's such a hard industry. There's a girl who's an actress now. She's in everything. She's done really well. But I think it's just the fact that they're doing what they love.
Yeah.
And actually, even if they're not, I just think, I don't really care. I don't think it's about me going, I want to, you know, they must go into the industry. They must go into the industry. I think it's about, it's confident. It's been, for me, it's been happy. It's all I care about with all my friends or all the kids I teach is, are you happy?
Are they enjoying it?
Are you enjoying it? But the industry is hard. And I don't think people realise how hard it is because it's, you know, you can have a job one minute, you're out of a job another.
Yeah.
There's no continuity with money this day and age, which is a nightmare.
Yes.
So I kind of know more people that are my age still in the industry are doing it still. And the kids that sort of went to do it, I think sometimes they go, oh my gosh.
Didn't realise how hard it was going to be.
It's tough. So they do it to a point and then it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. And I just think you got to be tough-skinned and you got to really, really want it. And I think sometimes money can dictate, which is a shame. I think you've got to, my first job, I didn't even negotiate money. I just said yes to the job. And then a guy I lived with said, Sam, have you actually negotiated money? I was like, no. They said, should I have done that? Phone them back up and see what you're on. But it was a case of, this is my first West End show, I don't care. I'm doing it for free. So I think
that's the difference, is if you love it, you would do it.
Exactly. And I think that's this day and age as well, with all the stuff on telly with X Factor and all that. It's a quick fame. I'm like, it's just not like that.
No, you have to work.
You do
hard work.
Hard. And it's not, you know, it's not all glamorous by any means. It's just hard work. So hard work, but you love. You should, you know, you kind of very lucky to be doing it. So you have to appreciate that. But
yeah,
you know, one day off at on Christmas Day and 2 weeks off in a year's contract. That's it.
Wow.
Working 8 shows a week. So there's no social life.
No.
So it's, you know, it's a point. I got to a point, I think I was about 31, when I went, I've got 2 kids and I'm not seeing them. And I have to stop at some point. So, I was lucky to get to 31 as a dancer, I think. But it was a point when I just thought, I've got to stop.
Yeah.
So
what was the last show you did? Cats.
Yeah.
Again, when you went back.
Yeah. When I going back into it. Yeah. So yeah, but I just think that for me, I'd rather see. I'm not really bothered about anyone going into the industry.
No.
To me, I just like with you looking at what you're doing. I'm like, brilliant.
Yeah.
How brilliant is that? Look what you've got.
Yeah.
So I just think I look at round us. I'm like on Facebook thinking, brilliant. They're happy.
Look what you're doing.
Look what you're doing. Brilliant.
And it is the skills that you learn that you've taught.
Yeah.
Might not even been directly through dance, but through the schools that you've been involved in. That
absolutely make
children who become the adults that we are.
And I think and I also think the children that are very quiet, and those are the ones that are always interest me, because I just think, and then suddenly
not me. I was always loud.
That's Emily coming in. Here she is. But there's children that, you know, not academic, and they're kind of passed off a bit, and I just think so. And then you suddenly see them, I'm like, look what they can do.
Yeah.
And even the teachers go, I didn't know they could do that. And that's when I go, oh my God.
And that's where it's the problem, isn't it? Because you think, God, this child has got so much potential, but just because it's not book smart, they're not being seen at school.
No. And there's a lot of children that go amiss, I think.
Yeah.
It's such a shame.
And there's always those children that have got such incredible talent.
Yeah.
That, like you say, just get slipped through.
Yeah. They just slip through the net, and then, you know, then they're kind of lost then in second. We Silhouette Youth Theatre, and it's run in the roughest area, but we have the most amazing kids. And I just think these kids would be lost.
Yeah.
They're like a little clan. It's like a little family. Always a big family, but it's these children would, I don't know what they do. I mean, we don't charge extortionate prices, and it's simply because, and we're a charity.
Yeah.
Simply because, they get lost.
Yeah.
Completely lost.
And you do it because you want to make a difference
Absolutely.
for those children. What about your children? Are they either of them?
Well, Lucky's followed in. No, they're like techies. Lucky adored dance. What's my youngest? He adored it and wanted to do it at some point. Then went, it's really hard, Mum.
It's a bit tricky. I'm all like,
and I'm like, yeah, Lucky, it's funny. But they're techies. They're like, he does all the coding.
Oh wow,
he's got a very nice job doing coding. And my other son works sort of with banks.
Oh, okay.
But Lucky's massively creative. He's mad as a hatter. He is.
Is your son?
He is so my son. We are like the double of each other. And my other son's more like his dad.
Yeah.
So my ex-husband was a dancer as well. So they're used to the madness in the house. So it's quite a creative house, to be fair. But yeah, they're the ones that do all my techie stuff because I have no idea.
Keep you up to date with everything.
Don't have a clue.
Do you think they did do dance though, didn't they? When they were younger?
Did. Yeah, but Hunter went to Young Malone. Yeah, both went to Young Malone.
So do you think, even though, like you said, they didn't follow through, they learnt skills and confidence through?
Massively. Standing again, standing up, making a speech.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, totally.
So you've seen it in your own children that even though it's not, it's there, it's around them and it's still embodied in what
and it's not
they do.
Pushy, it's just a natural thing. I don't think I've ever gone, you must do this. I've kind of let them be a bit free-spirited and find their own way, which they have, but we still sort of, it's still, they are free spirits in their own rights, even though they're quite academic, unlike their mother.
Do you think growing up going through what you did in London, no money, do you think you were kind of like, look, if you really want to do it, but if you don't, you can find a stable...
I don't think they ever said that. No, I don't think they said anything. I just let them be.
Let them do it.
I think they found their own way without me. So I'd guide them if they wanted help. But I kind of thought, both of them dropped out of A-levels.
Yeah, I did.
And because they'd had enough of school. And I was never the one to say, you must stay there. And I was like, I left home at 16. So I had to follow my dream. And Lockie was coding. He built his own computer at the age of 11.
Wow.
So he was already studying
what he was going to do.
He was doing it for years. And I just think, without me knowing, he said, Mum, can you buy me loads of stuff? I want to build my computer. I was like, oh my God, okay. And then did, and he built it. I was like, it works? He said, yeah, of course it works. I was like, you're 11.
How did you do that?
How did that work? So he, from a young age, he's building his skills. And then had to follow what you have to do in secondary. But yeah, they both dropped out. My eldest son potentially got appendicitis and had his appendix out just to get out of school.
Brilliant. No, you got to do what you got to do.
Got to do what you got to do. But yeah, I think just probably being in quite we're not even loud, we're quite quiet in the house, but we're just open, honest, and talk about everything. Yeah. So everything's on the table. If you want to talk, we're not, I think I was kind of a single parent really, for quite a while. So I kind of, was finding my own self. Yeah. We're finding their selves. We're all doing it at the same time. But
which is nice.
Which was lovely. Yeah. Yeah, it was actually. And then we all came, now we're very, very, very close.
Which is...
as a family.
Yeah, which is so nice. And
close.
Do you know what? I dropped out of sixth form. I think I did 3 weeks of year 13 and was like, I'm going to be a teacher of some sort. I want to work in early years. Yeah. So what am I doing? And I'm so glad that my mum didn't say, no, you've got to... Because obviously Sam finished A-levels, went to uni, done a master's, is now working at the NHS. Like she went the typical educationary route. And I'm really glad that my mum didn't stop me from following what I knew. I knew I wanted to get an apprenticeship and I knew I wanted to do early years and get qualified. And because I thought, why am I wasting my time at school doing something that I'm not going to fulfill? Yeah. And now me and Sam have taken complete opposite paths, but we're both homeowners. We've both achieved incredible things. And I think not that being a homeowner is, but do you know what I mean? It's what you strive to do. And I think that, no, do you know what? It didn't matter what route I took because I loved what I was doing and she loved what she was doing. So I'm just, like you said, I'm really glad I wasn't held and been, no, go on.
Yeah.
Finish it. Just finish.
I just think you kind of pin someone down as they're going to, at that age especially, you're going to kick in. And I just thought, I ain't got the energy to.
She probably thought the same.
And also, I'm looking up to them. They're looking down on me. I'm like, okay.
You do that.
You do that. But yeah, I just think, I do think there's obviously you've got a guide and there's not a direction. But I just sometimes think, same as me, I think all my family said, because I was so shy, I can't believe to my mum, can't believe you're sending her to London. How is she going to survive? She doesn't hardly speak. And my mum took that chance, and thank God she did.
Yeah.
She could have said, no, you're too shy. You won't hope in London, And I just thought, she kind of threw me the deep end. I swim, and you get on with it. And thank God she did.
Yeah, I think my mum, we moved out of our family home when I was 19, and she went one way, and I said, I've got to stay for work. And she said, well, you're going to have to take the jump and do it.
Yeah.
And I thought, God, holy shit, what am I going to do? And I'm so glad she pushed me to do that because I think when I need to be, I'm a confident person. I feel like when you learn those skills of going on the stage and doing it when I need to be, but I can be I have to think about what's going on. And I think at 19, living on my own when it wasn't really the done thing when I was 19, a lot of my friends still lived at home and I'm just really glad I did it. There was points where I rang mum, what do I do? I need help. Yeah. But like I said, it's that guidance rather than...
Absolutely.
Sure, that's a good idea. We can work to it together. But I'm really glad she did because I think it helped with the learning of...
And you make mistakes.
Yeah.
Because we all make mistakes. As you said earlier, you've got to make the mistakes to go, I won't do that.
I know what I did wrong last time.
Nice. I didn't pay that bill. Okay.
Got to pay that, but I had that. With the water bill was my one. I was like, I'm going to pay for this.
Didn't know I had to pay water.
It just came out the tap. So she was like, no, you probably should pay that one. But I think, like you say, it's being that guidance, but also having the skills and confidence. Be like, no, they're going to be okay.
And I think you've got to let them go.
Yeah.
To me, I think you have to let children go. And, sometimes I get children and they go, look, Sam, I've hurt my finger. I'm quite really upset. And do I look like I can? And they just look at me and go, I can't say that. I said, you've just hurt your finger, you're fine. And
you're going to survive.
It's tough love a little sometimes as well. And I just think that.
I think I found where I got my teaching style from, Sam, because I've always said to people, I used to work in a room and it was just the two of us. I was bad cop. I was like, is it going to fall off?
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
Fantastic. Let's be fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's always started to make sense. Sam told me I'd survive, so everyone else will be fine. I think it does. I don't think you realise until you reflect on it how much of an impact going to theatre school can truly have, because I think I learned skills that
you didn't
even realise I still do. Now talking to you about it, I think, God, actually, I do. If we're standing in a line, we're getting in a line. Come on, we're going to do it together and we're going to make the line. And I think, it's something that I'm so thankful I had, and I'm so thankful I had you as a teacher. And I think it's, you definitely did have such a positive impact on me. So thank you.
That's good. Thank you.
So I have one final question that I've asked every single guest that's joined me on the podcast. Okay. What is one of your favourite childhood memories? Since I talk all things early years, what do you think for you?
My childhood memory?
A favourite?
If I'm really honest, probably being on my own.
Wow.
Just being on my own in my little world. And I had a tree in the garden called the love tree. And I used to sit on it, and it has a little branch like that. And I love trees. I used to sit on the branch and I would be, and actually if anyone disturbed me, I get a bit, so I just lose myself. I think my imagination, if I can honestly say my imagination, there's nothing really, being on my own and in my little world was probably my best memories as a child, and creating.
Yeah. And that's followed you forever?
Up to my life, so I'm, lucky.
You've been a creative.
I've been allowed to draw on my wall in my bedroom a massive picture. It was quite a dark picture of a naked lady.
Yeah.
I was only young. There's so many things I've found. I lost my mum in February, so I've found all these things at my dad's house. Gosh, I made that. I did that. But he let me draw all over the wall.
Wow.
So things like, just be creative.
Being creative is
Being allowed to be free and creative.
and it's something that has led you to a career that has allowed you to be creative in different ways.
Yeah. And
throughout.
Not good at being dictated to. I kind of go against the grain sometimes. I do tend to go, in that, I'll do it this way, and we'll do it this way. And
it will work.
And it'll work. And I'm going to prove them wrong. And they go, oh, that, I love doing that.
Amazing.
So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining me for this very special episode for me. It's going to be, I'm really excited to share this one. So yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, don't be a stranger.
I won't be. I know where you are now.
You do. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. I really appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed taking a trip down memory lane with me and Sam and hearing all about her incredible theatre career as well. So yeah, thank you so much for listening.